Woodfibre LNG is working towards submitting a project application to the BC Environmental Assessment Office. Pre-application public consultation continues until July 27th. Once the EAO accepts Woodfibre LNG's project application, there will be another public consultation. According to Kaya Belfry-Monroe of the Quest University faculty, that consultation period will be an important one.
The next big one, and this is actually the biggest place where people can have an impact on the entire process, is the environmental assessment.
Randall Lewis, an environmental advisor with the Squamish Nation, has a number of concerns about the proposal.
There are some efforts and some accommodations being made by Christy Clark's efforts with regards to respecting First Nations and accommodating them, what such have you. But what does that really mean? And how does that affect us as First Nations trying to make informed decisions on appropriate habitat protection, riparian protection of species that have sustained us for thousands of years, now are being affected by potential beads and trinkets and or offers of some kind of monetary things to us? Is it meaningful? I don't think so. In consideration of resources that have sustained us for thousands of years, it is concerning.
The project's primary spokesperson is Bing Jarrod, vice president of Woodfibre LNG. He says his company has much work to do in the coming months.
And we're continuing, our environmental consultants, Golder, Hamera, are continuing to do baseline studies, understanding the water, understanding the wildlife, understanding the noise, air, understanding all those things. We have to do a lot of baseline analysis of what is the state of the environment in the Sound now. That's ongoing. Once those baselines have reached a level of completion that makes that we can actually write a report on, we write what's called effects assessment reports. Those effects assessment reports form the basis of the chapters of an environmental assessment application, which is many binders, and that application goes into the environmental assessment agency, the BCEAO, sometime in the fall. They take 30-45 days to review it. Is it sufficient? Do we have to do more work? After that, whether it's sufficient or not, they do another public comment period so that's on the application. And then once that's taken place, then the regulators, the Ministry of Environment, Forest Lands, Natural Resources, Ministry of Natural Gas Development, Fisheries and Oceans Canada, Transport Canada, they all take the application, and the regulators who are experts in their fields go through it. That's about a 180-day process. When that's done, it goes to the federal and provincial ministers, respectively, and they have 45 days approximately to review it and sign off their certificate. So all things being equal, we could theoretically have an environmental assessment certificate Q2 2015, so let's say May or June.
When I first heard about this project was earlier in actually January this year, when I found out about the environmental assessment process and the first round of public consultation on that, when they were deciding whether it was going to be a BC provincial assessment or a federal-led environmental assessment. And that was the very first red flag for me, because that process, or the public consultation process for that, happened over Christmas. And that is not, in my mind, good public consultation. So after that happened, this project came on my radar, and Woodfibre LNG had their first series of open houses in February. And I had an open mind still at that stage. I initially thought that the project was going to be good for Squamish. Like everybody else, you hear, it's going to bring jobs into town, it's going to bring some tax revenue, this is a good thing. After I went to several of the sessions and started hearing about what they're actually proposing, and I started asking lots of questions and realizing that they couldn't answer my questions, that was when I started to get really concerned. So I started meeting with other people in town who were as concerned as I was, and we started researching. I've spent so much time now. I've taken time off my own work so that I can start to research fully what this project means for Squamish and start to look at the implications of what it means to have an LNG facility in Squamish. And it is not something that I think is actually going to benefit us.
There's more information on the Woodfibre LNG proposal at the company's website and at the Environmental Assessment Office website.